Gentlemen, welcome back to the Troll Talk podcast. This is episode 13 officially on YouTube and Spotify. My guest today is none other than your new stepdad, Mr. MayorWertz himself. How are you, buddy?
I'm doing well. How are you doing? I did not realize I was lucky number 13. Thank God
13.
I am not superstitious, but by the end of the podcast, I may just go get a ladder and crawl under it, or I may go break a mirror. So let's just get all the superstitions out of the way right now, so we don't have any problems.
I mean, it's kind of funny. You own a black cat, used to climb a ladder on stream for like 2 weeks to a month before you moved. So all those superstitions were already around beforehand.
It's my life is a constant state of superstition. I have a question for you real quick. I don't mean to flip the script.
Go ahead.
What's up with your door? Did you punch it?
Oh, that?
Yeah.
Oh, that.
Is it off the rails?
No, it's fine. What do you mean?
Okay, well, sorry. As a stepdad, when I see things that are off kilter like that, like home remedies, such as a door being off like that, it concerns me a little bit for your safety, and also, because I had to always impress your mom that I had to come over and fix it for you and say like, "Good job, champ," and then teach you something.
That is true.
That's my stepdad laser eyes going on right now.
But like, why are like 10 of the TVs behind you not on then, stepdad? Haven't you fixed them yet?
Because it is almost 90 degrees here, 90 degrees Fahrenheit here.
Yep.
And I will tell you that all these CRTVs, most of them are plugged in. Well, I have many reasons. One, it's really hot and they all emanate some kind of heat. Two, and I just got 3 new televisions this week. Well, new to me televisions, so I have to reset everything up right now. So they're in the process of being reassigned in this thing. So, but I wanted to have a couple on. We had a couple on for now. So
just a couple. I mean, it's 86 Fahrenheit for me right now, 30 Celsius.
So
gross. I fully get how you feel with a PC that's got terrible cooling, 2 lights on me, 3 monitors, and I have a fan pointed at my crotch. But for people that don't know who you are and what you do, tell us a little bit about yourself before we get into this.
Sure. My name is MayorWertz. I am a comedian. I tell jokes. I do jokey things on the twitch.tv platform. We play games. We do IRL stuff. We do cooking. We do call-ins. Basically, whatever I want to do and I see fit. Sometimes we'll just go out to my backyard and I'll mow a lawn for my lovely stepkids. We'll grill. We'll do whatever I feel like. The rest of the internet, I do comedy videos on YouTube. And then I'm also a comedy rapper. So think of like a Lonely Island in that capacity. I have music on Spotify, Apple Music. I do live shows. I do a lot. Let's put it that way. Stepdad is always a little tired. In a good way, though. In a good way.
You really do a lot, because after doing all the research I did for this podcast, might I say, you do an absolute fuck ton, and I feel like a lot of it doesn't get acknowledged in the way that it should. Now, before we start, I usually do this before the podcast starts, but if you have my chat open, I need you to tell me what flavor of Gamer Subs I'm drinking, since you talked about it in the pre-show. The guest gets to choose what flavor I have.
Oh, God. How much do you ingest?
3 scoops, so choose 2 flavors. I'll do a scoop and a half of each.
A scoop and a half of each. How much caffeine are you about to consume?
300 milligrams.
Holy shit.
That's nothing.
Wait, can we cuss on here?
Yes.
Holy shit. Okay. Let's make something good. As a man who likes good things, let's do something good.
Like hot wings?
Yeah, like hot wings on hot wings. I think it would behoove you to do probably a strawberry burst and an acai blueberry. Let's go for a fruity kind of flavor.
Okay. Strawberry burst and acai blueberry, which is in the back of my drawer for a reason.
Oh no. You have a drawer for it?
I have a drawer with 21 tubs in it and another drawer with 20 tubs in it, because I have a
you are a sponsor of the game subs?
I am a partner of the game subs. Yes, that is correct.
What did you have to do to be a partner of the game subs people?
Applied back when it was easier to get affiliation with them. They have affiliation partnership. I
Nice.
applied back when I had about 450 to 500 followers, and I got accepted under the
Hell yeah.
affiliation terms, which was basically, and it sounds really weird when I describe it this way, and some people are like, oh, why the fuck did you do it then? I had to get 25 orders under a code, and I got nothing for it.
Gotcha.
Besides 3 items to give away to my community: shaker cup, a
Mhm.
tub, and then an item of choice. The reason why I accepted it in a heartbeat to build up the partnership is because I've been an avid user 2 years before I even got the sponsorship.
Yeah.
So it was something that I stood behind, and it was something that day one members of my community can vouch for, that I used all the fucking time, like every single day on stream, pretty much. And
Yeah.
it was known because within 5 days, I went from like affiliated to partner. So
That's awesome.
Because 25 orders were placed through my community that quick.
Nice.
And for that, I'm ever so grateful for my community, because now it allows me to have an entire collection of titty cups, and every single flavor known to man. And sometimes I get stuff early, and for that, I am forever grateful. And that's why I try to give back as much as I can. But
That's wonderful.
Something I want to talk about you, right? That's enough about me for this podcast. I want to start
Sorry,
off.
I like asking questions.
Hey, I mean, it makes sense.
especially when you're doing stuff, you got to fill time. You got to fill time.
It gave me time to make it. So,
see?
You officially have the longest history as a content creator from anybody I've ever had on the podcast.
Haha.
You have been a content creator for almost 12 years on the internet.
Yeah.
But I need you to tell me about when you started off as Mr. MC Cool Whip himself, straight out of school, back in 2007.
Oh boy. Well, I one of my first instances of doing comedy is, well, I've been doing comedy with friends in high school, but like that's just palling around, telling jokes and in Counter-Strike 1.6 and Counter-Strike Source. No big deal. But my main thing was I was failing chemistry. I don't like chemistry. It's way over my dumb head. And they told me I could do a extra credit assignment. And I said, you know what? I'll make a rap song about chemistry, specifically moles, which are a unit of measurement, I think. I can't recall. It's been a while.
Okay.
And ever since I started doing that, I said, I really like doing this. Let's keep doing this all the time. And I was MC Cool Whip for, oh God, many, many, many years. Until I got a cease and desist from the company who puts out the book for 50 Shades of Grey, that publishing company. Because I used to do a series called Kyle Reed's 50 Shades of Grey, where I wore a lovely robe. It had a fireplace and an ascot. And I was getting deep into college and deep into media at that point, and I said, I can't have a bunch of DMCA shit, so I need to change my name from that MC Cool Whip, which was lame to begin with, but it was funny, into MayorWertz that we have today. But yes, I've been doing videos and all that stuff for a very long time.
Very long.
God, very long.
Then your first live performance, and I found a ticket stub, August 26th, 2007.
Yep.
Most of us were still shitting our pants and sucking our thumbs at that point.
Wow, way to make me feel old.
Boomer. Tell me about how it felt to do a live show back then, almost 16 years ago, compared to how it is to do one now, because you just did one like a couple days ago.
Yeah, I did one on Sunday. It's still about the same. You still get the jitters the day of. About a week before, I'm already like planning everything out. I plan way far in advance, but like that's like hard time. Like I'm timing stuff. I am very particular of like how I present myself on stage, even during the first performance, which was I think was fine. I think I have footage of it somewhere. It might be on a different YouTube channel that's down, so I have some archive footage I need to go through now I think about it. But I still get nervous. even yesterday, Sunday, when I did my show that I've done in one of my favorite venues of Cleveland, Ohio. And I always, whenever MC Chris comes to town, I normally open for him. So I've had the rapport with his audience for years, and I still, every single time, I still get worried, and I still pace, and I still like don't eat a lot that day. And it's like it's a good thing. It keeps you hungry. It keeps you, I don't know. There's a real electrifying feeling of doing it live.
Yeah.
Like once once I hear the first downbeat of one of my songs, it's like a blur. I don't even like really think about it until the next day, or maybe when I'm at the merch table like afterwards for a little bit, if I am there for a while. But it's just constant, it's nervousness, and I think that's a good thing, because you don't know what's going to happen. And I think that goes for any kind of performance. Like if you're not afraid a little bit, I don't think you're pushing enough boundaries.
Yep.
You should be pushing boundaries at all times, in my opinion.
And you have done some stuff that has pushed boundaries that you've been vocal about on other people's little podcasts and stuff like that. From certain raps about certain people that really shouldn't be rapped about and stuff like that. In space.
Yeah.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Yep.
To some jokes that maybe cross some lines. But what I want to ask you is, as that entertainer, and since you've been doing it for so long, in the live aspect, what has been like kind of the three things you've learned from when you started to where you are now that you carry into all of your performances?
Slow down and take it all in. I feel like it's a lot of like, because when you're doing performances, you have a time limit. So I'm trying to fill, in my mind, I used to like fill as much content as I can, fill as much song, keep going, keep going. But like as I am developing my act, because I feel like I'm always developing it, I'm learning to slow down, talk to the audience a little bit. I do a lot of like stories in between stuff. I tell jokes. Like it's not like it's not like a normal band where they would just play like 45 minutes through. There's a lot of stop and goes to it, which I've developed over time. The other thing is trying to think something else to bring with. It's so important to have, I feel like it's always good to have an extra person there when you can. I have a DJ. His name is P Stoops. He goes to about 99% of my shows, and it takes such a load off of my performance knowing that he has all my backing tracks going. He's got everything under control in the back end. He lets me do my thing. I didn't have that for the longest time. I was playing off a Zune. Not even a Zune 2, a Zune, because classic, baby.
Yeah.
That's how we do the Microsoft lifestyle. And three, I try to be as thankful as possible. And I think that as a high schooler, you kind of lack empathy and you don't really care, just doing stupid shit and you go. But like I am, over the years, you just get so thankful that like anyone even like shows up and like participates, and let alone even like buys merch or like streams music. It's a very fascinating thing. And I've definitely changed my perspective on how people view me as a performer over these years.
Yeah, and I feel like in the industry that you're in, and how it's carried over to streaming and your content creation, which we'll be getting into, it's more of a unique perspective because you've already kind of built that gratitude for a fan base. And I hate using the word fans, but in your aspect, they are. You have that non-cult following, as you call it, and that's something to where I feel like it just made it easier for you to kind of transition into the world of streaming and building the community that, once again, we'll be talking about here in a bit. But what I want to ask you about, kind of building that fan base and building that community that come to your shows, that buy your merch, as you mentioned, that, do all that kind of stuff, that's supporting in ways that us as streamers don't really understand and see. How do you feel like it's different having that community outside of Twitch compared to having that community on Twitch? Like,
you're shaking people's hands. You're interacting with those people. They're buying you drinks. You're buying them drinks. Like sometimes I've gone out afterwards with bands to get food. Like there is a level of interaction, human interaction, that is missing with Twitch. And I mean, that's just the platform we're on, obviously. But there is truly like, I mean, as you said, you went to SariCon, I think you
Yep.
said, and like that adds so much more like
Person to
just
person.
that person to person connection
Yeah.
than what you have online. Do I think the online connections are important? Of course. We live in an internet age, but
We
I'd
live in a
much rather
society.
go to a bar and see people than be online and talk to them through Discord.
Oh,
I think
100%.
it's you lose, like, even right now, like, if if this podcast ever blows up, please fly me to Canada and we can have a person to person
You can fix my
conversation, because you
door.
can feel it. I can fix your door. You won't let me start the podcast unless I fix your door. And I have to bring my own tools.
Yep, you have to bring your own tools.
So yeah, I just think it's just the person to person thing, and just like there's a different vibe to performing on the internet than there is on a stage. There truly is. And you have to do a lot of different things. Like for this, I get to sit down. This rules. I
Yeah.
sit down, I get up once in a while. When I'm on stage, like I'm doing pre-stretching, I'm doing vocal warm-ups, like I'm mapping out stuff. Like I mean, granted, you could do a lot. You could do a lot of moving things. Even in this room, I do VR and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
you're really just missing the human component, man. And I think that's so important now, especially like towards the tail end of, I'm saying this very positively, the tail end of this pandemic, hopefully. But I love just I feel like you just get that good connection when someone tells you to their face, hey, I really like what you're doing. Thank you for providing me entertainment for this evening. To have a good night. Like
Yeah.
that feels great. You can't beat it. You
No.
truly cannot.
You really can't. And like, of course, you're part of the circle where you mentioned SoriCon. Of course, you know the other people who also are in kind of a same field as you are. Capri, even though this is live recorded, I don't really acknowledge it. Thank you for the 600 bits, you cute bitch. You know Game Pass Dad and Ham All Kid, two former guests of the podcast as well,
Yeah.
who are also in like the stand-up field, or used to be in the stand-up field, and you know, kind of have that experience that you do. But there's really not many people that you can come across on Twitch that have that experience, and to hear, you know, the mindset behind it, and to know that you've experienced both sides of it, it's pretty cool to honestly talk about, and I'm honored to be able to talk about it with you in that aspect.
Thank you.
Now,
and if I could derail just for a second,
Yeah.
Hey, Capri Sun Poppy, thanks for making me lose to this gentleman. I will never forget Just Talk to Me and how I believed in you as a person, as an individual, as a human being. And guess what you did? Got me. I'm out of a t-shirt. I love t-shirts. T-shirts are my favorite thing in the world, next to the button down. And that man has it in Canada.
I got the t-shirt, baby.
You're the reason.
All because of Caper Sus PP.
I know you did it on purpose. I can't win anything in my life. That's life. That's how we do. That's how we live.
I want to fast forward 5 years, at least, of public knowledge. You mentioned how
Public
you might
knowledge.
you might have other YouTube channels who have been deleted, or you have archived content on it, but you started your current YouTube channel almost 12 years to the date, and you uploaded songs and covers from a show back in 2010 to your YouTube channel.
Oh shit, what was it?
That I remember how I said In Space. Those are one of the songs.
Oh no.
And which you've also been public on a podcast as you changed from MC Cool to MayorWertz, that some songs might not be released, even though you released it 2 years before that podcast you were on.
Yes.
I want to ask you, what made you bring your comedy, your stand-up, and everything else like that to the scene of YouTube back in 2011? 2010.
Oh God, it has been, Jesus Christ. Okay, so I just like making things. I am a workaholic when it comes to making things. I just like trying stuff all of the time, and I was like, I'm gonna start uploading stuff to YouTube. I think they're either songs, they're playthroughs. I have so many playthroughs on there. It's like I have a lot of stuff, because that was back in the day when the formats change, which is very interesting as well as how YouTube evolves in as a content viewing kind of thing. It used to be where you could upload, you could do one long playthrough and cut it into 47 pieces, a la that's your Game Grumps, that's your all those
Game Grumps,
individuals at
Achievement
that
Hunter,
point.
yep, all of that
And
stuff.
so
Rooster
you used to
Teeth,
be able to Rooster Teeth, all that kind of stuff, the
all that.
creatures,
Yep.
everything. But that was back in a different format kind of days. So I used to record like an hour at a time, then cut them all up and editing and whatnot. And at that point, I was 21. I was in college, and I was looking just to do fun stuff because I was having fun on the internet, and I wanted to show my friends dumb stuff I was doing on the internet. Yeah.
And then at that point, it just turned into playthroughs, and Kyle reads 50 Shades of Grey, and Kyle reads 50 Shades Darker, and all these other things that you've done. So with everything you've uploaded on your YouTube channel, what has been your favorite piece of content, and why is it Guy Fieri eating to the song Hurt covered by Johnny Cash?
Well, it is not on my YouTube channel anymore.
It got taken down after a week.
Got taken down after a week. Yes, I got my favorite video of all time is my Guy Fieri eating to Johnny Cash's version of Hurt. I love it because I love Guy Fieri. I love that song. Oh, hell yeah. Please.
Sorry. 1 second. Oh, viewers
Let's go.
on or listeners on Spotify and viewers on YouTube. Alec Gaming Official, thank you for the 10 gifted. Did you just get like paid or something, bro? Thank you for that.
Let's go.
I'll acknowledge it properly after this, but I can't let that go unnoticed. Thank you so much for the 10
No.
gifted, bro. I appreciate it.
Fantastic. Hell yeah.
So, Guy Fieri eating
Yes.
to Johnny Cash's cover of Hurt that got acknowledged by Forbes, Vice,
Yep.
Time, and a bunch of other online article companies.
Geekology, that's one of my favorites to this day. MSNBC, but yes, Time, Forbes.
I listed the ones that people
Jesus.
are gonna know, but like it was only up for a week. It got over
Yeah.
500,000 views.
Yeah.
How did it feel at the time back in like 2014, 2015 to get at that time viral video?
Yeah.
Like if you get 500,000 on a video nowadays, it's not really considered viral. But to
No,
your
that's
channel
like
size at
that's
the time,
good
that's
SEO.
fucking blowing
Yeah.
the fuck up, right?
Yeah.
So
It,
how did it feel at the time to have a viral video?
I'll just give you the whole story. So basically, I was working at a car dealership, making videos, and I was being super underpaid and overworked. So I decided what I usually do. I feel like in my most stressful and sad moments, I make really, really good art, in my opinion. There's a lot of comments in that video that would say otherwise. But I had this idea, and I'm like, I'm gonna work on a personal project. Personal projects make me feel good, and it's gonna make. I said I have 3 friends that are. This is gonna make them laugh, and I worked on that all day at work and did not and did not do my job. And I sent it to a couple of my friends, like unlisted, like not public or anything, and they're like, "This is hilarious." I'm like, "Great, cool." And then I sent it to my sister, who is 14 months younger than me, and she said, "Mayor, please don't put this out. Don't do this. What are you doing? Don't do this. Isn't funny. What the hell are you doing?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?" And then I went camping where there was no cell phone reception. And that morning, it was like a Saturday. It was like a Friday or a Saturday morning. I posted it on my Facebook and my Twitter. And then I went camping for 2 days. And then I didn't have any reception. And we were driving back, and my phone just did not stop going off, just nonstop, just people texting me, people calling me, emails, inquiries, everything. It was insane. And I just I just kept texting my sister about it the whole time, being like, "What's going on?" Like, it was getting to a point where it's like Facebook, like, you know how Twitter has the new and noteworthy section where it
Yep.
gives you all the hashtags, like the Guy Fieri video was on the Facebook one. They don't even use those anymore. Like, that's how old that was. That was a viral thing that was going on. I got a lot of inquiries, and then like I was just started dating my wife at the time. Like, just like we're very new relationship, and we're at a bar, and we just put the cell phone in between us on a table, and we just watched it just blow up until it just couldn't handle the vibration anymore. It was insane. Uh, I got traction from it. I got a lot of cool interviews. I was very, very thankful. I got a lot of terrible comments, which are my favorite, which I was just screenshotting and saving and screenshotting and saving because I still have them. They still make me laugh. I'm very much aware that it is a cover song. I don't care. I don't care what your opinion is. For those who don't know, the Johnny Cash has heard is actually a Nine Inch Nails song, but through some interviews, they said it's technically his song now. They don't care. Nine Inch Nails fans are mean.
Ruthless.
They're like anime fans. They want you to be. They want to be right at all times.
Hey.
But yeah, so that was good, and then it kind of fizzled out. I was so happy. I never thought I could do anything like that again. I got one more video that was getting there, but it did not get the normal notoriety of that too. But yeah, it just kind of made me realize that like I could just do fun, silly stuff. People do ask me once in a while if I'd ever make a second one, and I will probably say no. I feel like, why beat a dead horse?
Yeah.
Why, I could just make that a whole thing, but that doesn't sound very fun to me. I made it as a one-off, as a joke, and I think it ruins the piece itself if I make more, because it kind of ruins the excitement of it. Hell yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah. Tell the podcast what's happening. Tell the podcast what's happening.
Ladies and gentlemen listening on Spotify and YouTube, it looks like we're hitting the back-to-back, the two-piece. Alan gifting another 10 subs. This man either just got a will, or he got a bonus, or he won the Powerball. Alan, thank you for the 10 gifted again. I'm asked just to save your money, bro. You just hit 100 gifted in the channel now, total. Stop. I appreciate it, bro. I'm gonna thank you properly after this podcast. But I wanna kind of transition into something else. And you mentioned how, like, when you get bored, you like making art.
Yeah.
And I ended up finding something that, for you as a content creator, shocked me a little bit.
Okay.
You used to put human eyes on cats. And I want to talk about that while showcasing my favorite 3 from your Tumblr page. Oh, it was the first and only time I'm ever going on Tumblr. But while I pull up my third favorite, which is this one right here, I want you to tell me about why this started.
I got bored, and I thought it'd be really funny if I started a Tumblr page. And I said, what's a terrible idea I could do on Tumblr that has nothing to do with anything? And I said, well, I am really bad at Photoshop. I still am to this day. I'm 32 and I work professionally in media, and I am terrible at Photoshop still. And I said, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to take a picture of a cat, and then someone's going to take a picture, give me a picture of a human, obviously with eyes. And I have 1 minute to cut out the eyes and then put them on there. And then normally it'd be at 2:00 in the morning when I was very drunk.
Yep.
And I did that not for super long, but I know I was in a dry spell. I was in a creative dry spell. I want to try something new, even though it didn't take off or whatever. None of my shit has to take off for me to have a good time. And that was just a funny time. I can't. And now, you did do research, you son of a gun.
Now, with me going into my second favorite, what made you end up stopping the human eyes on cats? Because as you mentioned, you were doing it drunk or high at in the morning, and you were doing these in a minute. As the Tumblr page said, you were doing these in 1 minute. That was your challenge. You challenged yourself, and nobody knew about that, really.
Yeah.
So what made you stop this trend, even though you said it didn't really pick off? or take off, you said that it was for your entertainment. So did it just kind of
Yeah.
like dry out humor wise for you, or what was the reason why you
Yeah,
stopped it?
it kind of fizzled out for a little bit. I brought it back once, and yeah, it felt like it didn't have legs. It didn't have any. It was
It
too
had eyes.
simplistic. It had eyes. Sometimes they have legs, depending on the. But yeah, it just didn't have weight for me. It didn't have a longevity thing to it. Like, I like doing flash in the pan art, in my opinion. I don't know if I would consider even that art. It's just like a fun, goofy thing I was doing. But art is subjective.
Very much.
And I like doing the flash in the pan stuff. I don't care if anyone finds it or sees it. I know I did it, and I had a good time doing it. So
And I know I found it. So bringing up my favorite one, which would you ever consider bringing this back in a different kind of variant on a different platform, like Instagram or like Twitter, just for the memes? Like, would you ever bring something like this back?
would definitely consider it. I think no project is dead in my eyes if there is a good enough concept. It's much like when I make music. There is stuff I've been sitting on for years that I'm like, this isn't ready yet, or it's not the right time, or it's not fully cooked with the idea. So I never say never. Never say never in that regard. If I can find a way to do it on Twitch, I maybe I can make it a fun little thing.
You
So
could.
I like this. I
I was about to say, was one of my mods being named Cat? I better see this as a profile picture soon enough.
Go ahead. All rights reserved, but go ahead.
So, talking about your viral video with Guy Fieri, I want to talk about something that I find to actually be an even cooler achievement. And it's funny enough that a certain person named Capersus PP popped in chat, because he's almost related to this name in a way. You were on a game show hosted by Andy Milonakis.
Oh, yeah.
Tell me about how that came about.
Well, I follow Andy, obviously, through once again, his MTV days, doing the Andy Milonakis show it was one of my favorite shows growing up. My sister's as well. I follow him on Twitter. I found out that he had a Twitch channel, was following him, and then he had mentioned a game show and that streamers should apply for it. And I did out of a whim, and I was on it. And then I was the first eliminated on the show because I was an idiot. So, and I was an idiot because I did not. It's my first time ever doing like a true. Oh, there we go.
So yeah, no, my frames completely dropped there down to like -1. That's my bad.
Oh shit, it's all good.
My encoder's kind of fucked. So, anyways, continue your story.
So yeah, I was the first eliminated on the show because I didn't do my homework, and I didn't really realize what I was stepping myself into. I thought it was like a serious like interview style, like not serious, but like everyone kind of like took their time, took their turns. Ended up being just a lot of people yelling over each other the whole time, and I don't like doing that. I mean, I like yelling. I yell on my Twitch channel when I feel it's appropriate. I'm normally a loud person in this basement. But when I'm with a whole bunch of people that I don't know, I try to be as respectful as possible, and I just like shut the fuck up. Because if someone's talking, I don't want to interrupt them because it's rude. And I'm like, they're on here as much as I am. Turns out that wasn't the strategy. I should have just been loud, and I should have just interjected at all times. And I was the first one fucking eliminated. But I met a lot of good people afterwards, and within those circles and whatnot, because Andy is he had a lot of very nice things to say about me, which was very kind. I do like compliments. So but yeah, no, I still talk to some of those people that are on the show and whatnot. But that was my first real experience at a game show kind of thing on Twitch that wasn't like a normal collab of playing video games. So
like we will be doing later for people watching
exactly
right now.
We're gaming.
And for anybody on YouTube or Spotify, if you are within 2 weeks of this being uploaded, you could go back and watch the VOD if you'd like. But
boom.
What I want to ask about it is you kind of mentioned that you didn't really know many people, but you got to know people. You still talk to some of them to this day.
Yeah.
How was it connecting to Andy Milonakis in general? Like, did you actually have like a one-on-one? You did say that he said nice words about you, but more in the aspect of, has there been anything since?
Uh, it's not really anything since with him. He travels, he does his own
Yeah, he's
things and
currently in
whatnot.
Greece.
Captain made a good point. It was a popularity contest, and it's nothing. I am not against sex workers or anything like that, but the one person was a porn star, and that's all anyone ever wanted to talk about on the show, which is understandable.
Yeah.
It's not a profession that you really nowadays. There's a lot of porn stars on Twitch, which is like really cool and interesting. It adds a little layer of parasocial relationship stuff,
Yep.
but a little bit back then that wasn't as prominent. So to have someone on your show that just like randomly dropped that, and there's like, we're just gonna talk about this forever. It's like, well, I can't. I know I can't beat that, and that's it. It is what it is. So, and also it was because of how the chat was. I didn't realize the other big mistake was that like I kind of didn't make it a big deal because I didn't know what it was, and there was a lot of people from other people's communities voting everything, and I did not realize until it was way too late that I should have been doing that because I did not know the format, and they didn't really explain a lot what was happening, which I thought was just like, oh, it's kind of like an improv kind of thing, but
yeah,
turns out it was still in beta.
How
but yeah,
long
I still
ago
talk.
was this?
Oh God, it was year and a half ago, maybe.
Wow, I thought it was a little bit longer back.
It might have been. He was still in California at the time, so maybe even 2 years. Wow. I know I was in a different location when this happened. So
yeah. Now I know we've been jumping around like through time frames of your personal life, and adding a little bit of content creation into it.
It's like a Quentin Tarantino interview where it's just different grabs of life and all going on one singular timeline.
Right? Yeah, I could go linear down from when you started, your stand up in 2007 all the way to current day where you just did a show on Sunday. I could go linear and go through all of that. But at the end of the day, I like kind of like, picking and grabbing stuff that's in like a relative time frame related to each other and transitioning. But with me saying that, and with us being on this, I want to talk about your podcast back in 2015.
Perfect.
Like you used to host a podcast with your buddy James called Plucking Petals.
Yep. Correct.
You did over 60 episodes, all on YouTube and iTunes, if I believe.
I think so. I don't know if they work on iTunes anymore. I stopped paying for the hosting service. So, but they are on YouTube.
Ever. They are on YouTube.
Yeah.
They were like I listened to the first one. I listened to the last one to hear kind of how it's upgraded, and y'all added an intro song to it. Like, hey James, how's it going? Like whatever the melody was.
Right? I try to be as professional as possible. Okay.
It goes into James saying, "I'm good. How are you?" Like it was the funniest thing because I felt like it was a perfect representation of like who you are. And this was way back in 2015. So I want to start off by talking about, where did the idea come from to start a podcast with your buddy?
Well, it started because I wanted to spend more time with my buddy, and we had been a big fan of this podcast called The Biggest Problem in the Universe.
Okay.
And one half of that is an internet person name of Maddox. Okay. I don't know if that's a name that rings anyone's bell. He's an we'll call him older internet. He's very famous for writing long essays on his website. He's like a satirist kind of thing. Had a couple of books, Alphabet of Manliness, I Am Better Than Your Kids, where he grades children's artwork. And I think there's a new one that came out that I never read. And we were big fans of him and big fans of this podcast where they talked about the biggest problem in the universe. So our basis of our podcast was that we brought in one thing that annoyed us and one thing that we really liked that week. And we did that for 60 odd episodes. I think there's one 64. Episode that I took down.
Yep. Because there is one that is unavailable in the playlist.
Yes, there's one unavailable because my buddy had asked because he was looking for jobs, and it came up on his Google, and he's like, I like your guys' podcast, but I don't want, when you do YouTube marketing stuff for a living, that'll happen. And so I was pretty good at marketing it. And yeah, we just had a good time. I did all the editing. So I got to throw in random shit when I wanted to. And then it ended because I felt like I wasn't hanging out with my friend anymore. We were just doing work, and like that's not fun.
Yeah,
So I mostly decided to end it.
that's fair.
And I was just like, I just want to like hang out and play video games and like be a friend, and like that was fine. And yeah, and then I did another podcast for a couple episodes, and that same thing happened
Yeah.
where I just was like, this is too much work. I didn't edit the second podcast. It was called ASAP Raps, which was a higher I don't know if that's on your list at all or not. Oh,
I made
okay.
sure to
I
talk
did know.
about the main one.
Okay, cool. I did a side one where my DJ P Stoops and we made a rap song every episode. Super high concept, but it was taking him like 6 hours to edit it, and I'm like, it's not worth it. None of
Yeah.
this is worth it. I just want to hang out. Like, we were doing stuff because we thought it'd be funny to do, but it's like, I don't know. I don't like to work with friends very often.
Yeah.
I'm very particular because I want to make sure there's a very clear line between work and like hanging out.
Yeah.
And if that bleeds through, it ruins both sides. So I'm very particular who I work with friend wise now.
Especially
So
like
not
IRL friends too.
Oh yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. I have some people that are always my go-to people in video, or like when I'm like recording songs, stuff like that. But normally like I try to stick because it's just like it seems like I'm always asking favors, and I hate doing that. And I just want to be friends. I don't want to ask my friends to work unless I could pay them. So
100%. And like for me, I don't know if you saw what I did with like the hot tub stream. Even though it was scuffed as shit, I was running on 2 megabyte upload speed. Like it was so desynced at times. But I was up at my buddy's cottage, and of course I did the charity stream like 2 weeks before then, and one of the end goal was a hot tub stream. So we had a kiddie pool, we threw hot water into it, and we called it a hot tub stream, right?
Yeah.
And we put like our beer pong table in the pool because it fit, and like we're all shirtless as if it's supposed to be the actual hot tub thing. But at the end of the day, we were drinking, we were having fun, and this was the same group of friends that I play with every Wednesday. So I completely understand, like, if it was any other group of friends for me, I wouldn't have asked them to do it. But because it was that specific group who's on my stream pretty much weekly, that already know, the do's and don'ts of what to say and talk about, even though they pushed the lines, but the mic didn't pick it up.
Good.
At the end of the day, it made it, honestly, one of my favorite pieces of content I've ever made, even though it was scuffed. And honestly, there might be another one at the end of August. We'll see.
Awesome.
But I do want to kind of expand outside of my room. I did the IRL stream at StoryCon. I did the hot tub stream at my buddy's cottage. It kind of opened my eyes to that more, I don't want to call it unique, but I want to call it more personal kind of streams, to where just IRL, at a bar with a friend, meeting up with a streamer, doing that kind of stuff. I feel like it's something that I kind of want to expand into and do more, and don't make it something that's normal or frequent, but make it something that's special, something that you build up to, that not only can help me grow, or, as a streamer, because at the end of the day, we want to grow and build our communities to the best that we can while still maintaining the morals that we live behind. But also whoever I'm with, especially if I'm meeting up with another streamer, I want to make sure that we both benefit from it, and not just me. Like, if they want to record a piece of content or do a piece of content, I'm more than happy to do it, right? And stuff like that. And
exactly.
That's why, I can't wait for TwitchCon, because I know TwitchCon for a fact I'm going to stream down there.
Nice.
Meeting up with my friends again down in America in one way, shape, or form. I'm probably going to do another stream.
Hell yeah.
And hell, even the Just Trust Me thing where I kicked your ass. Doing that from a 7-foot by 8-foot room in somebody's Airbnb, while they're on the other side of the door.
That sucks.
It was an
you guys
Airbnb.
Gotta get better Airbnbs.
Where, hey, listen, it was a freshly renovated Airbnb where the host lived there on the top floor, and I had their pantry renovated into a bedroom.
That's insane.
When I tell you it's 7 feet by 9 feet, I'm 6 foot laying sideways in a 7-foot wide room. the pillow in my head automatically take up about 9 inches. I had about 3 inches between my feet and the wall.
Oh
If I
my
stretched
God.
or if I slipped down to bed at all, I'm kicking the wall, and my foot's probably going through it. But it was great. It was an amazing time, but I can't wait to do more stuff like that. But what I want to ask you, back to the podcast topic, since you were doing that with
Yeah.
friends, with today's market of podcasts being like oversaturated, everybody and their fucking grandmothers want to do a podcast, right?
Yeah.
What is something that you feel like hosts need to do to stand out and be more original or unique in the concept of podcasts, and not just have that, hey, how's your day going? Hey, if I'm talking to a streamer, this, what does it mean to be a streamer? What are some
Yeah.
things that you like and dislike? Those standard bullshit questions. And yes, don't get me wrong, I use a couple of them. But
Yeah, you have to start something when you don't know them or the audience doesn't know them very well. Like
exactly.
you kind of have to hit those things. But I think the biggest thing, because I'm a really big podcast listener.
Yeah.
And I feel like my favorite podcasts have a concept and they stick with it at all times. It's not a couple pals talking, because I've seen those, I've been on those. We're just talking. We'll see how the air just fills the room.
Yeah.
And turns out those people aren't good at making conversation, and it's always the same like 5 topics anyways. I think it goes for Twitch stuff too, is just like having a goal and having your audience know what the goal is. Especially with podcasting and like titling and whatnot. Like I like a lot of true crime podcast. So if I click on a true crime title, I know exactly what the crime is, what it is, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I think everything concept wise, you can't just do willy nilly. You can't go back, unless you're a famous person starting a podcast, you have to be high concept now.
Yeah.
It's not, and that goes for Twitch streaming as well. Like there are a lot of people at the top who like do nothing, but they came in at the right time, had the right gusto, and luck struck them a million times.
Yep.
It happens. What are you gonna do? And they don't have to do anything.
Nothing you can do about it, because at the end of the day, Twitch, as much skill is needed to be a streamer, as much talent is needed, as much almost education is needed, because you need to self-teach yourself how to stream. There's also luck, and that's a factor that not many people talk about. And being in our Twitch circle, and especially since you've been a streamer for so long, I believe you can vouch for this. Is you will see some people be at the same numbers for years, and then all of a sudden they do one of their concepts and it's like their 50th original concept, and that one just so happens to blow up and push them to that next level, right? We mentioned his name before, but Capri is open about the fact that he's had like 4 or 5 channels, and this is the one that popped off for him.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah, you gotta try different stuff, and if it doesn't work, you can either sit there and try to make it work, which sometimes it does. You never know. There's always exceptions to every rule.
Yep.
And that's for every platform. You just keep shoveling it in, and hopefully it hits your right audience. The SEO and the marketing works in that regard. But just, being able to know when to move on to something else. Like I've been doing this I'm on year 5 right now. And I got to say, the first 3 years of me doing this, like most of the stuff I do in my life, I'm just doing it because I'm having a good time. I'm playing video games. I found a way to take 2 loves, which is improv comedy and video games, and put them, and attention. I love attention. So those 3 things all together, which is the Twitch stream. And I like fucked around all the time. I would not have a schedule. All I did was play Dead by Daylight because I loved it.
You're reading
it was
my
so
notes.
much fun. Oh,
no. Go ahead. Talk about it.
I have over 800 hours in Dead by Daylight, and as a Dead by Daylight streamer, that's pretty low.
Yep.
But I love the game because I love horror. I know it doesn't look that because I'm wearing a Hawaiian shirt, but horror is like my number one genre of film and media in general.
Yeah.
And I loved it. It hit all the boxes for me. It gets to a point where I can play DBD now, and it is a relaxing game. Like that is a wind down game for me, because I got good at it and I thought it was super fun. But yeah, and I played DVD. I played everything because I was just like hanging out with friends, hanging out with streamers. I was just doing stuff because it was fun.
Yeah.
And I took it a little more seriously in the pandemic because it's like, I gotta like I'm in the house all the time, and I feel like that's a lot of people too nowadays. As a side tangent, like there's a lot of people who started streaming in the pandemic who are now stopping streaming because it's like a whole new world for them.
Yeah.
And I'm very thankful. Like I know where my numbers are. I know they can always be better. Obviously, it is what it is. I'm having a great time doing this, but I also love performing.
Yeah.
And I feel like knowing that I've done this for so long makes me very thankful I did not start 2 years ago when the pandemic started, because I'd probably be in that same boat too. It's a culture shock going from 100% in the pandemic, and now you're out and everyone's out and you're wondering why no one's paying attention to you anymore. It's like, it's so sorry, side tangent.
No,
But
go
yeah,
ahead.
it's but you see a lot of things on Twitch. You see a lot of good, you see a lot of bad. You see a lot of good, and you see a lot of really goddamn bad things. And guess what? Sometimes those bad things are just, everyone loves it.
Yep.
And I can't knock them for liking something, because I like dumb stuff all the time. But I'm not going to poo-poo them for liking something, like only liking the big streamers, or like I'm sorry. I like looking at attractive people. I don't know about you guys, but I'd rather look at someone who's very attractive than someone who is is not the best looking individual.
Wasn't genetically
so
blessed.
Yeah, they weren't genetically blessed, and you see a lot of weird stuff on the platform. Did you play Dead by Daylight at all?
I played it a bit. I played it when it first came out. I played it for a little bit with my friends. Stopped for quite a while. Like, I really think I only got at most 100 hours on the game, but no, I fully know Dead by Daylight. But before we get into that convo, because that's my next topic.
Oh man, I'm jumping.
You're jumping the gun, but I'm perfectly fine with it. That's why, like, I have my notes, and it's in that linear format that I don't like doing. Right? But at the end of the day, I'm fine with jumping to that topic, to jumping back to another, then to here, and then like, let's talk about current day. Now let's go all the way back to when you started. Like, at the end of the day, it just makes for a more genuine conversation. But we're at about the halfway point in this podcast, and for people that listen, or for new listeners, we like to do a couple segments during these podcasts. And the first one is called 20 questions, rapid fire questions. Basically, just to get to know your preferences on stuff. It's nothing major. You can explain your answers on a couple things if you'd like. But other than that, just to start it off, what's your favorite day of the week?
Ooh, Saturday.
Speaking of Saturday, Sasquatch Streams pops in the stream. Hey, buddy! Excited to be on your show on Saturday for the finale and to kick everyone's ass. What's your favorite city in America besides the ones that you've lived in?
New Orleans.
Ooh. Favorite holiday?
Halloween.
I like it. First celebrity crush.
I'm a spooky slut. What can I say?
I mean,
I'm all about spooky. I already got Halloween stuff up in the house somewhere, so it's already going. Favorite first celebrity crush?
You're old enough to say the queen, but
we'll go with Jessica Alba.
Okay. Place you want to travel to the most currently?
Tokyo. That was supposed to be our honeymoon, and we haven't been able to go yet. So,
shit. Yeah, Japan's very hard to get into right now.
Yeah,
like
I keep
ridiculous.
calling. I keep calling. They keep not picking up. So
that's not fun. Cake or pie?
Pie.
Favorite ice cream flavor? The rest of the podcast relies on this answer.
Coconut.
You are old. Holy fuck.
Listen, I don't even like, and I'm saying that as a person who doesn't even really eat ice cream. I eat ice cream twice a year, maybe. I'm not a sweets boy. I like vanilla ice cream with some peach cobbler, and I like coconut ice cream because coconut is great. And then I mint chocolate chip because
there we go. That's the right answer.
Okay, those are the three right there. I'm a simple boy. I like simple things. I don't like ice cream very much. So
the podcast stays alive today. Have you ever worn socks with sandals?
Yeah, I'm all about that dad life.
You're a stepdad. It works.
Yeah, I have to be.
On a scale from 1 to 10, how good are you at keeping secrets?
Ooh, I'm an 8.
Good. Anybody who says 10 is a liar.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, like if I tell you a secret that's not to death, it's you and your wife know.
Yep.
Yep.
That's usually my 8.
I'm
So,
single, so I'm a 9. Big dogs or small dogs?
oh, I'm big dog baby, and I'm talking not only big dogs, but I'm talking the t-shirt company big dogs. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
Oh my god. You don't know about the Big Dog T-shirt company? I wish I had them available. They're upstairs in my room right
What
now.
kind of
But it's
t-shirts?
basically they're like joke T-shirts. Like if you can't handle the heat, stay out of the kitchen. It's like a big old dog with sunglasses. He's got a cigar. And then they do parody ones. So instead of South Park, they do South Bark. Oh my god! And Frasier. Yeah, they do it. But they've been around. They've been around longer than I've been alive. Uh, yeah, I would check them out. I think Big Johnson is another one of those kind of companies. Back in the day, like if you go to a mall and you see like the kiosks or like the dumb shirts,
Yeah.
it's like those kind of level of like really not funny quality, and I love them. I love them so much. I have an internet one.
They better
That's
sponsor
him
you.
riding. I hope so. I would love a sponsor by Big Dog.
Hey, I tried to get New Balance to
so
sponsor you with your tweet.
I know, I saw that. Thank you. I would love some New Balances. I got to mow my lawn tomorrow.
I literally wear New Balance too. That's the worst part.
I love it. I love
it. What is your favorite or dream car?
it. Ooh, it's something that I saw in Need for Speed Underground. It was a is it Eclipse? It's an affordable car,
Yeah.
but they look nice, and I'm like, I didn't dream big. I grew up in a lower middle class family. I'm like, Eclipse is fine, fucking great.
I can understand why you say Eclipse. The Eclipse is a pretty nice car. If you could only eat one meal for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Oh, this is gonna be a surprise, but my answer is actually probably burgers. Because you could do so much more burger. Don't get me wrong, I wrote a whole song about how much I love chicken wings, and I'm a chicken wing judge at a chicken wing contest every year. But it lacks the versatility, and they're getting very expensive. Burgers, you could do a lot of stuff with burgers. You can do so much with burgers. There's a limited ceiling when it comes to wings.
Yep. I can 100% understand that. Giving or getting presents?
Oh, I love giving presents.
You wanted to say getting for a second.
I do. Well, don't get me wrong. I like getting stuff, but I like to I do this thing where I like pay attention to people, and like I will write down sentences that they say about certain things.
Yep.
And I will have that available for me whenever I see something that reminds me of that. I'm like, I gotta get it. Like, and it just kind of like I try to pay attention, and that's why I like the giving process so much. So
no, I 100% get that. I'm the same way. Pizza or pasta?
Oh, I'm a pizza boy. I'm not a big pasta. I'm not a big Italiano. I'm a German through and through. So
Okay.
I will always take pizza.
Favorite video game series of all time?
Oh, Jesus. Oh, no.
Mr. I'm a gamer.
Yeah, but I have so many like specific, because I could like off the bat I'd be like, well, it's probably Ultimate. It's all the Marvel vs. Capcom games.
Really?
I'll even throw the last one I have. If we want to talk about, see, now I'm thinking about Counter-Strike. It might be Counter-Strike technically because of all the hours I put into it. But then again, I probably put as much hours as I did into Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Because it's one of the best games that's ever been made. As I said, we talked about earlier about fighting games. I was trying to get you to play a fighting game. You're like, I don't play fighting games. I'm like, I love fighting games. But it's probably Halo, Marvel, and then Counter-Strike.
Okay.
Those we'll throw those three depending on the day. The new Halo is terrible. The new Marvel's terrible. Counter-Strike Go was bad when it first came out. Now it's good. So, things are good, things are bad.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, there's nothing that's perfect.
That's true.
At what age do you want to retire?
Now.
That's the normal answer.
I want to retire as quickly as possible so I can do this more.
What do
That's
you feel?
the goal.
Do you feel like when you retire, you're not gonna actually stop working?
No. I think what I'll do is, so I used to work at a movie theater when I was 16 until I was, 23. And we had this retiree that all he did was work box office. He worked in the morning, so it was like a 11 to 5 shift. He worked like 3 days a week, sometimes on the weekends. All he did was print tickets, handle money, print tickets. Got to see free movies all the time, free popcorn, free drinks. Took his grandsons, took his granddaughters, took his families to movies for free. That's what I'm gonna. If I need the money, it'd probably be that.
That's the life.
Captain, you're only right, but only if we are drunk at that barcade that we play Robotron at. So,
Dark chocolate or milk chocolate?
dark chocolate.
I feel like once you hit, this is not a jab at your age. Once people hit like 30 plus, it's dark chocolate.
It's it's better. It's better for your heart.
Yep.
I think when it comes to I talk about ceilings all when it comes to food. I feel like milk chocolate has quite a ceiling unless you're paying an exorbitant amount of money to get over that hump.
Yeah.
With dark chocolate, I feel like it's a little bit higher of a basic entry,
Yep.
but it's pretty good through and through after that.
Yep.
So
Just add a little bit of extra cocoa powder, and then you got better dark chocolate.
exactly.
L.A. or New York?
I've never been to LA. I'm gonna say New York because I'm a city boy. I'm a city boy through and through.
City boy.
City boy.
What's your favorite clothing brand? Even though you kind of already answered it.
Well, I mean, yeah, obviously Big Dog. But I've been buying a lot from Target lately, so the Goodfellow, and then it's either that or Old Navy. That's it.
So the guest before you was Chak, and he also said Target. That's fucking funny.
It's easy. It's like $10 a shirt, and they fit good, and they're good quality. It's still fast fashion, so they don't last forever. But what I need them for, pretty great. I think this is even. I can't check behind me. I think this is a Target one, if I remember correctly. So
that's fair. Final question: on a scale from 1 to 10, how good are you at general knowledge trivia?
Poof. Well, I used to host trivia for years, so this is going to be a 4.
We'll find out at the end of this podcast, where I'm going to put your score up against other people who you might know, and we'll see if you can beat them. But to get back on track with the topics, he is part of a non-cult, not a cult trend, but welcome in. Let's talk about your Twitch channel. Let's talk about your Twitch career.
Okay.
September 19th, 2017. First official stream according to Twitch Tracker.
Okay.
What made you go from the realm of comedy to YouTube to now Twitch? 10 years after your first show, you start Twitch.
Yeah.
What made you dive down into
that? So I was living with a roommate at the time. My chat knows him as Toilet Meat. But I was living with my roommate, and he was showing me like League of Legends esports stuff, even though I didn't like League of Legends. But he was showing me Dr. Disrespect. And say what you will about that man, and I understand entirely everyone's opinion.
Yep.
But I think that motherfucker's funny. I think he does great character work. He sticks in character. It's the high production. It's wild green screen stuff. All stuff that I'm like, I did this in college. Like, you could just do this on the internet. And then the other part of that answer was that I was in between improv troupes at the time. I had left my one improv troupe, and I was kind of getting a little bored by it. I didn't like having to practice twice a week to do stuff. So I was like, you know what? What's a good way that I could play video games and do improv and maybe even make a couple bucks on the side if that ever happened? And I'm like, also attention from the internet. I love attention. Anyone who's a Twitch streamer who doesn't say like attention is a liar. So nice. Attention is very nice. And I was just like, let's go. Like, let's try it. Like, why? Like, what's the worst that's gonna happen? In my mind, I thought it was gonna be a flash in the pan thing, and now I'm here 5 years later talking to you in a basement full of televisions.
Yep.
So
You went from an Andy Milonakis game show to me.
that's right. How does it make you feel?
Upgrades, baby. Upgrades. But I want to talk about it. You kind of already mentioned it. You were a Dead by Daylight streamer throughout pretty much all of 2018, half of 2019. You sprinkled some games here and there, but it was always Dead by Daylight for your streams. And even though you said you didn't have a schedule, you streamed 4 days a week, and it was usually like Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, according to your schedule. And that's been a pretty consistent schedule all the way up to today.
Yeah.
What made you get into the realm of gaming over like just chatting? Do you feel like being in Dead by Daylight helped kickstart your career? Or do you feel like you had the community backing you from your comedy to kind of already get you that jump start no matter what you did?
Feel like the comedy stuff didn't like the YouTube stuff never translated to the Twitch stuff. It's always hard. We talk about this when we're talking about transferring platforms a lot when it comes to marketing stuff. Having an extra step in the way of someone's content is always the worst. And they're going to deteriorate, at a much crazy rapid rate. So that never really came into things. I think that Dead by Daylight helped. I still have a lot of people that watch and play Dead by Daylight. Also, I did not realize just chatting was a thing because it wasn't. I was like, I saw Dead by Daylight. People were playing Dead by Daylight. I'm like, I could do that. I love that game. I was so ingrained in that I didn't even like look around. Like back then we didn't have a food and drink thing. Like, IRL wasn't like a thing. Like nothing was like, and just chatting was kind of like this underbelly that no one talked about. I mean, I'm sure people knew about it. I never did the research into it until I started seeing people pop up in that thing, seeing people that I knew, colleagues and whatnot, either watching it or using it. I'm like, oh shit. That's what I should. I screwed up real bad because I could talk all day.
Yeah.
What I'm good at. I have a video for everything on the internet. Like I could have been doing that a while ago. And so we started, less games, incorporated just chatting, doing video stuff. It just, always trying things. And I'm back to more games again. Because I'm not feeling. Some of the stuff isn't working the way I think I would like it to. So that means I need to refine it or I need to drop it.
Yeah.
So, and
that's
I think
content creation.
Yeah, it's you get ebbs and flows, and then like also like with the heat and inflation. Like I haven't done like a cooking stream in a while, and that has to deal with the heat. I don't have AC in this house, and inflation because things are very expensive, and offsetting those costs are very hard to do. So.
No, I 100% get that. Now, like with you coming back into the gaming scene, and instead of doing the just chatting content that you've been doing, the call-ins, the cooking streams, and stuff like that, do you feel like you are at a better point with your content currently, or do you wish you could, do that stuff willy-nilly, like the just chatting content, the cooking content, without any worry in the world, no money costs, no time strains, whatever the case may be? Do you wish you could go back to that just chatting content right now, or do you feel more comfortable in the gaming scene, at least currently?
That's a good question. I don't know how I feel about that because it's money is always a factor, obviously, but it's inspiration. Like if I don't have inspiration, I don't fake when I'm unhappy. When I'm unhappy with something, I need to drop it. I need to pull it back. I need to like raise it a little more. I need to like fuck with it a little bit. Like, so it's like, I would love to do that kind of stuff, but lately I just haven't felt like that. I have to feel a need to do it. Yeah. And I feel like I haven't felt that need in a little bit. And I think that's just when you do weekly cooking shows, like you're preparing the dish, you're looking through recipes. There's so much behind the scenes stuff. Like, my wife and I start on like Monday and we have the cooking stream on Sundays.
Yeah.
And we start looking through recipes. We start looking through stuff that I have done. We start looking at costs of things. We start looking at like, because I'm not just making, especially the cooking streams, I'm making them more of an event, as you said, like when you do IRL stuff. Like I'm not making like, oh cool, I made a baked potato. I'm making like an appetizer, a dessert, a main course. Like we got to plan all that stuff out,
Yeah.
and that drains a lot of time and effort and energy.
Oh, it
So
does.
I think taking a little step back from that is fine. I have some ideas coming up and whatnot, but I think always a little bit of a break is never gonna hurt. And I do like gaming. I game all the time. Like when I'm not on Twitch, like I'm playing games, whether it be with friends, going to the bar and playing bar game. Like I like video games. I've always liked video games.
Yeah.
It's just everything's in ebbs and flows, and there's gonna be a point where I'm like, I don't really want to play video games anymore. It's not as fun. I want to do more. I want to do call-ins again. We haven't done call-ins in a while because it's also what your chat responds to, and there's been good and bad days for all of this stuff.
Yeah.
So those are understood as, hey, sometimes things happen, and what are you gonna do? And it's just not hitting. So
Yeah. Nah, I get that. But with everything that you're doing right now, and you mentioning that you're getting back into games, and you have been for a little bit, I want to play a game with you. It's a game that I don't get to play with a lot of guests.
Hell yeah.
This is going to be where you pay attention to Discord. And for people listening on Spotify, make sure to tune into the streams live if you guys want to kind of interact with this. If not, if you're on YouTube or you want to listen to it on YouTube, feel free. Go check the link in the description. But I have 5 photos, and we're going to play a game called Explain the Photo. Simple title, basic as fuck. I need a better name for it. I have 5 photos of you, and I want you to discuss when and why this photo was taken.
Okay.
Let's start with this first one of you in a ball pit.
This was taken, oh boy, 2017 maybe, 2016. I needed new promotional photos for MayorWertz. So I used for media kits and online stuff and anything promotional. And I said, I want a ball pit for part of this photo shoot. I have a lot of photos of me for the shoot, but I'm like, the one shot that I want all day is a ball pit.
Yep.
So I did a bunch of searching. I did a bunch of Googling. Turns out the Science Center in our town has one. I said, great. I called them up and I said, hey, listen, this is a very weird request. I'm going to come in. I'm going to pay for my ticket, my wife's ticket, my girlfriend at the time's ticket, and my photographer. Can we take 5 photos in your ball pit? Is that possible? And I may have said, which is a good trick, it's for a school project. And I said I explained that it was the dichotomy of being, I have sad versions of this photo as well, but I said the dichotomy of being sad.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like the dichotomy of being sad in a ball pit. And we got there. They gave us someone to work with to do this because they were like, I guess I'm just good at talking to people, but we were like getting kids out of the ball pit to take these pictures. Oh, so
your
good.
Used car salesman came out and you finessed the ball pit.
Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. No one caused a fuss, and we sat there. We had the everything set up already. Like we knew what we were doing, so we weren't wasting anyone's time. But yeah, I got to kick kids out of a ball pit for my own personal gain.
Well, I feel like this second photo kind of relates to this first story because it was taken at the same time. Can you tell me about Wide Mare?
Wide Mare is my sister's favorite photo of me. The full thing is in the Science Center. They have a bunch of those funny mirrors that you see in carnivals, and that is actually me staring at the mirror, the funhouse mirror, and it's reflecting off so the camera can see Wide Mare. I need to make this an emote.
This was about to become an emote, but I was just like, I don't know how. I mean, I could put it as an FFZ emote, like as a wide emote, but I was like, I don't know. Maybe we'll save this one for a little bit later on because this is just something that you're staring into my soul.
I know.
Now, this is probably the most cursed image coming up. I need you to tell me about why in the absolute hell you went babyface.
Oh, I lost a bet with my sister. That was back in the day when I used to buzz my hair like I was a goddamn neo-Nazi, even though I was not a neo-Nazi. It's the only thing I can think of reference whoever would buzz their hair like this. It's very gross. I had a mustache and my whole family hated it. My mom refused to talk to me while I had this mustache. And I lost a bet with my sister, and I shaved the mustache and put it on YouTube in terrible lighting, in terrible formatting, and visual representation. And I did it. And I just shaved my mustache on my desk, which was really dumb.
And your mustache wasn't even like half of what it is right now, too.
No, it was such a
wasn't
baby
like,
mustache.
yeah, it was such a tiny mustache, and
I know, and
you
they
made
hated it.
such a dramatic video. I fucking loved it. And this was like 8 years ago, 9 years ago, something like that.
Yeah.
It was a long time ago. So this
Yeah,
is a
'cause
friendly reminder.
that's my parents' place, because I know exactly where I took this. Is at my parents' place still. So
This is a friendly reminder to anybody who has a beard in any way, shape, or form. Please, for the love of God, do not shave. This,
yeah,
for men, is a confidence boost and a
agreed.
lifesaver. Because if I shave, I look like a 12-year-old. Let's go into number
Yeah,
4, which 12-year-olds would rave about. Tell me about your Doom special package.
I make a lot of mistakes in my life, Trolley.
Mm-hmm.
I will fully admit it. I've done some terrible things. I've said some terrible things, in my life. But one of my biggest regrets in my existence is spending $110 on the Duke Nukem Forever Balls of Steel edition,
For the Xbox
and I
360.
keep it for the Xbox 360, and I keep it on my shelf to remind me that sometimes not everything I do is good. It is a constant reminder.
Where is this photo from, by the way? Let's see if
This
you can
photo,
tell.
it's from one of my first TikTok videos, because I was so excited about Doom Eternal coming out, and I got the special edition for Doom. I don't buy special editions, so that was the last special edition before I bought the Doom Eternal one, which is the helmet that works and lights up. It is badass. And I was waiting for that package to arrive. It arrived late, too late. When I was like, I told everyone I was going to stream, and I had to borrow someone's Steam account to play it, and then had to reinstall it, come back to stream, and play on my own thing again. But the joke was I was waiting for my Doom Eternal box, and what actually appeared was the Duke Nukem Forever box. So,
Balls of Steel edition.
oh yeah.
And to think that back in the day, photo number 5 is what played it. Can you tell me about why you look like, Mom, I pissed the bed?
I take probably the worst merch photos on purpose. I love doing it. It's so funny. That is Toilet Meat's dinosaur top costume. Like, the head is part of a costume.
Yep.
That is super old MayorWertz merch, and that is in Toilet Meat's apartment. And that was me selling my merch.
When was this taken?
Let's see here. So we had that apartment, and we did the Hotline Miami song. Captain was there, so 2012.
Jeez.
Yeah.
That's insane. Well,
I had the same stare.
You mentioning that, your Hotline song and the EPs
Yeah.
that you've dropped, something that I feel like a lot of people are just finding out about you is, yeah, you do comedy rap, but like they're finally starting to find out about it, especially from your Twitch community, right?
Yeah.
You recently released a song called Dad Life.
Well, it's a remix.
Which allowed your newer community members to really just find out about your music, listen to it on Spotify and stuff like that. But
yeah,
regarding your music, I want to talk about your humble upbringing.
Okay.
You used to record your old music videos on an iPhone 4. But more impressively, one of your hit songs was recorded in a Nissan Sentra with a certain person who's in chat right now. Can you walk us through the story of how one of your most popular songs, Wing Night, which you recently performed, started off in a Nissan Sentra, of all things?
Well, I think that's more towards the end of it, to be honest, but because that's the recording process. But I wanted to do a song about chicken wings, and I based it off of a menu of one of my favorite bars in Cleveland.
Kenilworth
And
Tavern.
yep, the Kenilworth Tavern.
50-cent wings on Sunday.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. So it's about that, and the best thing is about a car, besides that it gets you to point A to point B, is that it is basically a sound enclosure. You can use it for recording. When I worked at a car dealership, all of our voiceovers were in cars because we had cars available. So we were in the driveway of my of the place where I was renting with Captain. He was in the front seat with the laptop. I was in the back seat with the microphone, and I was recording. We recorded a bunch of songs in my car. And we had to, because we're in the city, we had an airport, so we had to wait for planes to drive by, to fly over, motorcycles to drive by, cars not to crash, beeps and stuff like that. It was very very DIY, let's put it that way, and it came out good. It came out, Captain, when I said earlier, I work with certain people, I work with certain friends because I know they're going to be good, and I always work with Captain when I can when it comes to recording stuff. So
and one of the things I find funny is, like, as somebody who has the honor of talking to a bunch of streamers for this podcast, there's a couple others who are also in, like, music production and create music and stuff like that. One of them being Lost Pool Boy, who's also been on the podcast. And the way that he started off straight in a studio. Right? Nowadays, I do feel like when you're recording your music, do you go to a studio, or do you still, like, record in the car, or do you have different ways that you record your music nowadays?
It's mostly at home. I think I've only been in the studio one time. Everything's been home recording. Whether it be in a car. We used to, when I lived at my parents, when I used to record, I used to have a mobile closet that we used to put extra clothes in. We used to take pillows and stuff and make makeshift stuff. Now I have this microphone, the S7MB or SM7B, and I have a portable enclosure that works really well. So as quality increases, I'm able to do a little bit more. So
of course, and the last thing on your music, it's with all the music that you've released over a decade. A lot of it's still public. You can find a lot of it on Spotify and other platforms. What I want to know is, with the most recent remix coming out, what's next in the music field? You got anything else lined up right now that's currently in the works, or you?
Yeah. I can talk about it. I have a new song called Dreams. It'll be out in August. I just got the final album cover art yesterday. So that's been in the pipeline for a while. It's been in the pipeline for over a year. We've had a lot of complications with mastering and mixing, but it's finally coming out. And then I have some singles coming out, and then perhaps even an album in the future. It's been a while. As of, I think it's the 28th of July would be the 4-year anniversary of my first MayorWertz album, Try Harder. So I think it's time to do a new one, but I wanted to do it right, and I wanted to put a bunch of music out before I would ever do another album. Because from a this is inside baseball, this is parting the kimono, but singles normally work better than albums. Most people will listen to one song and they'll move on. It's a great time. Albums drop. So it's, I don't want to, I will do an album again eventually, but there's got to be a smartness to it. There's got to be the right headspace behind it. But in the meantime, we'll still be releasing singles. My goal is maybe at least 2 more songs by the end of the year. We'll see, maybe about a music video. Everything is time and money. So we'll see. We'll see how all that kind of stuff works.
I'm intrigued. I just thought of one last question in regards to the music. And I feel like it's the worst question to ask an artist.
Yeah,
what
of course.
has been your favorite and least favorite produced song that you've released?
Oh,
that's why I said it's the worst question to ask.
Man,
but you have an answer.
Yeah, I probably have some answers. It changes though, because like I I find it's very important to like what you make and
Of
be able
course.
to enjoy it.
Yeah.
It changes a lot because like even isn't I would say I was 100%. I was 100% this song called I Think I'm Gonna Die. My Girl's Into True Crime, which is about my wife and how I think she's going to murder me because she's really into true crime. And it's like all these references. We like worked really hard on it together to like get all the references correct because much like anime fans, true crime fans, if you get something wrong, you're dead in the water, baby. You're gone. They're gonna end you. And
Yeah.
then like as of Sunday, like I just love performing Wing Night. And I think Wing Night's like one of my favorite songs to play live, and I still think it gets in my head even as a person who um listens to a bunch of music that is not his own because that'd be really weird if I listened to only my own music. But I think Wayne Knight just took the spot, and who knows, in a month I can tell you something totally different. When it comes to least favorite produced, oh boy, there's stuff most of the MC Cool Up stuff is terrible. It's so dumb. Some of it's funny. I'll give myself it's funny, but man, some of that it's not even the content that's bad. It's the production value. It is the bad microphone. It is getting someone to produce it that is doesn't know what they're doing. Shit, I used to make beats. They were terrible, absolutely atrocious. So a lot of the early stuff is I will still try to listen to it, but man, is it fucking hard because I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't try to learn the craft back in the day. I just did funny stuff because it was funny. I
Yeah.
didn't sit down and be like, let's figure out exactly how and why all this works. And I've done that over the years. I still always need to improve on that, but
Hmm.
I just didn't care. I was doing weird song formats. I was not rhyming things on purpose because I thought it was funny. Like it's which to me still makes me laugh. But the production value is like so unlistenable. It's not fun. Like I wish I could I wish I can go back and remaster them because I think they'd be for the most part acceptable. There's some stuff that I've done back in the day that I don't find acceptable. I will fully admit I did a song about Helen Keller when
In
I was
space.
18 in space, and that got me a lot of notoriety in the nerdcore community, which is the internet, nerdy hip hop community, and yeah, so that content not great. Didn't really say anything bad, but
No,
it
there's
it
nothing
just
bad.
there's something bad. It's just I was 18. That was an easy joke. I'm more mad at myself that I did an easy joke more than the content itself because I just don't. I think that's just lazy.
That's
I was
fair.
lazy back then. I
I,
take a lot of time and pride in my writing. So
there is, I believe it's your first music video, like proper one on YouTube. That
yeah,
is a one take music video, and you climb a ladder halfway through it, and just the cameraman does a 360 around you. You're just sitting
yeah,
on top of the ladder, and the
yeah.
audio goes from like a 7 to a 2 to a 5 to a 4 to a 7, like audio level wise, and it's a sample of a more popular song. And I was sitting
That's
there
why.
listening to it, and I was laughing at the fact that like the music would all of a sudden go down like this, and then like, and you wouldn't even be starting at that point either. Like when the music picked up, it was just like the
Yeah.
video almost sounded like it died, and then the music would pick up, and then like 3 seconds later you'd start. It was so funny to
So
listen to that.
I can explain that. That is actually not on me. That is on YouTube.
Really?
I got flagged super hard for that video because it is sampling Modest Mouse's "Float On," which is one of my favorite songs of all time. And that was their way of trying to edit out the float on parts of the song. So the audio jumble, not on me. I will fully
Really?
I will fully admit when I do bad audio production. That music video is great, by the way. Hey Quinn, that music video is fucking incredible, by the way. All one take.
The
We
one
did it
take
in
is
a
great.
though we did a one take music video. We based it off of Tyler the Creator's music video that looks like a one shot but isn't. It's Yonkers, I believe. And we did it in my buddy's dad's like construction warehouse, and we spent. I think we did it. We did it pretty quickly. The setup took longer. We did it in about 10 takes, I think. In
Wow.
2 of the takes we screwed up because we ran into something. But it was me, the cameraman Jake, and my buddy Jerry. And my buddy Jerry's job was to hold on to Jake and walk backwards
Make
to
sure it
make
doesn't.
sure.
Yep.
And just a couple times we just fell. God, I can't believe that I gotta see if I can fix that music video. I like that one.
I really hope that you can. Like, as much as I am laughing at the latter part, in a
Yeah.
one-take music video, it makes sense. And it was
Yeah.
also like the video masterpiece behind the here's like 15 seconds of transition, right?
Yeah.
And there's
Yeah.
a lot of songs nowadays that I would actually say a lot of songs from back in the day that have like, 30-second intros and stuff like that. So having a music video to where it kind of gives you something to watch during one of those intros or midway points, it definitely helps out a lot. Now,
I agree.
to kind of segue, and it's funny that, a couple people are popping up in chat right now. Something that we as streamers are extremely lucky and fortunate to have is our community. And they're the backbone behind some of our content.
Let's go with that. Sure. Why
not? Sure. They are the backbone behind our content sometimes as you do call-ins and stuff like that.
They've been hitting my backbones for a while now.
Oh, I believe it. So I reached out to a couple of the community members, and I asked for their favorite memories of you. So I have 3 stories I want to go over, and I want your perspective of why these stories might have happened. And
oh no.
And like I said, a couple people are in chat. I mean, one of them was Captain. Captain was the one that gave me the Nissan Sentra story, if you couldn't tell, obviously.
Yeah. Like, that's very specific, and he's the only person that was there. I bet he would give you that answer.
So I got given a lot more, but I picked my favorite 3. So I want to talk about your love for nautical bathrooms. I believe that's how it's pronounced. And how one of your viewers... Nautical bathrooms. And how one of your viewers sent you sailboat toys and other nautical items to fulfill your fantasy of having a bathroom of your own like that. So can you tell us how your love for nautical bathrooms started?
Well, I said one day the worst way I could be found dead was in a nautical bathroom. And I said that'd be one of the most embarrassing deaths ever. I would put that over, what's the guy from Kill Bill that hung himself while doing the anyways, he put a rope he put a belt around his neck and like pulled his pants down. Anyways, and he didn't and I thought the dying in a nautical bathroom would be way worse of an embarrassing story.
Okay.
And I got boats, Carradine, there we go. And I got boats sent to me, and I put them. You can't see it right now, but there is a Pittsburgh toilet back there. It's a toilet without any walls. That's what we like to call them. Okay. And there's a prison shower back there, but it's got. I had them upstairs in my kitchen now because they're out of frame. But I had my own nautical bathroom, and I put all the boats on there, and now they're in my kitchen permanently when I do my cooking streams. So. I hate nautical bathrooms. They're so gross. They're so stupid. Why would guess what, Aunt Gertrude? We're not at a beach. This isn't a beach house. I live in Cleveland. It's sunny 2 days out of the year. We're not at a beach house. Don't put the dumb starfish. I don't want starfish in my soap. Okay, it's very clear. No one wants that in their soap. I don't want to see the ropes. I don't want to say swab the poop deck. I hate those signs. Oh, this makes me mad. I
was waiting for
I hate it.
Snap. I was
trying my best. It just clicks. I just start thinking like I've never been in a nautical bathroom and didn't look for a sharp knife, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I feel like this is I need to get out of here. This is it. I really hope there's another Saw movie. If only they could put a nautical themed bathroom in there, I'd be like, I get it. I finally get this franchise. I can finally relate to this.
So on a more lighthearted note, let's talk about when you played your favorite game. Like, we talked about Dead by Daylight. That's not your favorite game on stream. Your favorite game was actually Super Seducer. Can we talk about how you started playing that game and how you won the hearts, no pun intended, of your entire community and why they miss that game so much. What's that game about?
Okay, so Super Seducer is made by an individual that is a pickup artist. And for those who don't know, that means someone who picks up women for for a living, and they write books on it. Basically, just helping individuals pick up chicks without having substance or personality. It's kind of like when you see someone bring an animal like a parrot or a snake to a bar. They lack a personality. They buy this book. They learn how to pick up a chick and maybe pork them. We don't know. It never really happens. Super Seducer is a game that gives you choices, gives you so many choices that you get to pick up women, and you eventually get to, you get to adult smooch them a little bit. And I did all the worst choices possible, and it made me rethink my strategy on life and how I should be living my life. Because I mean, this guy is one of the worst people I've ever seen in my whole entire life. He's terrible at acting. All the actresses all look uncomfortable. Like they're like every scene, he must have a gun in his hand under the table while they're talking because they seem beyond uncomfortable. It's incredible. We started playing Super Seducer 2. I need to get back into that. I was trying to get my wife Ashley to play, and she got really uncomfortable really quick playing those games. So we may have to try a swing on that. But
I mean, you're back into gaming on your stream, so it makes sense.
Back into gaming.
Super
there
Seducer
we go,
2, baby. Everybody go follow MayorWertz to get him to 3,000 followers, and then he'll play Super Seducer 2. Final story.
There we go. Easy goal.
We talked about your music, but it's the fact that you tried to make a track with a community member / streamer over 3 years ago that you also owe beer to, and I've been purposely, I got asked to mention this. So when are you gonna like finalize the track with one of your streamer friends who just might so happen to be in chat right now? And when are you actually gonna send them some of your Bratwurst Heffenweisen beer? Because I feel like that they deserve it at this point.
I will be making a new batch of beer very soon, and Quinn, I will send you some. I promise so much. I will go through the FedEx. I will go through the UPS. I will lie to the government to make sure you get this beer. I am so sorry. I know I promised it. I'm a bad person. Track wise, we'll get back into it. I'm not gonna lie. I haven't written anything in over a year. I haven't written any music in over a year. I know we talked about it and we started working on a concept, and then I just dropped all my music because it wasn't working. It wasn't my concepts weren't working, but we will get back into that. God dang it.
Oh, I still love the name of your beer, Bratwurst Heffenweisen.
Yeah, all my beers have Wertz names. So Wertz beer ever, Wertz a ween, like stuff like that. So we try to always add Wertz to the name. So, but yeah, I do brew beer once in a while. I haven't done it because we moved in in August. So it's been about a year. But it's also very hot and very time consuming to make beer. So I need to do another stream. I think we'll do like a IRL stream to brew some beer, and then Quinn, I will send you some. I will find a way. If I have to sneak it in with a Nike box, I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, no, I had to get that as the third story. Thank you, Quinn. But to wrap everything up before trivia, final point. With all the amazing memories we just talked about and more that you have built with your community and fans over the past 15 plus years, I want to look forward into the future.
Okay.
You're approaching 3,000 followers if you haven't hit it already. Been trying to plug it throughout this whole podcast is the fact that you need to hit it so you can play Super Seducer 2.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Simple as that.
Simple as that. You seem to be producing some of your favorite content at least over the past year. Whether it's been the cooking stuff, whether it's been the IRL stuff, whether it's been your perfect kickflip that you posted on Hover that went fucking viral on there. That's actually how I found you for the first time ever, was seeing your kickflip video.
That's funny.
Which I was fucking crying.
Funny.
I watched it like 15 times and I couldn't stop laughing because it cuts right as you hit the ground. But
it's that editing mind, baby.
editing mind. You're performing on stages again now that the pandemic is finally winding down, right?
Yeah.
What's next? What's next for MayorWertz in the content creation or the entertainment world? You said you have a song coming up potentially in August, right? You've gotten a finalized version of it. But what's next for MayorWertz?
I think what's next is more long form essay style YouTube content. I think that's what I'm going to take a stab at next. I have been kind of sitting on it for a little while now. This is, I guess, it's an exclusive or whatever. But yeah, I don't really do long form content on YouTube anymore, and I think I want to get back to doing that. And I think it's something that recently happened that really inspired me was Eddie Burback just did a video where he went to every rainforest cafe that's remaining in the US of A and Canada.
I saw that thumbnail. I never watched it, but as somebody who used to live next to one, I was
oh God, it's terrible. Those things are terrible. But I just I miss doing essay style content. Like I'm doing a lot of quick content with improv. It's the detriment. The problem with improv is that it's you do it and then it's done, and I've been doing that for a very long time now, and I think I'll still be always doing that because it's so much fun. But I think going back to, or at least trying some more long form content, whether it be YouTube or more live stream, more better conceptual stuff, I think is going to be the fun thing to do. I'm always going to have improv, always doing food and drink stuff, always doing everything else, but we're going to try some different format styles basically. I think that's, variety is the spice of life, and I think that if I'm just only doing one thing, I'm not happy, and then when I'm not happy, I'm not creative. So,
yeah,
it is what it is.
I like that. I like the sound of that, and especially since you've hit 1,000 followers on YouTube. I'm pretty sure you have over 4,000 watch hours because of your Detective Pikachu video.
Yeah.
I don't know if the Guy Fieri video counts towards that metric anymore because it was completely taken down, but I don't know if you're in contendership to apply for YouTube partnership. If you are, fucking go for it and do that long form content. If you're really close, then everybody go sub to the YouTube of MayorWertz and go blow the fuck up out of his videos that aren't his shorts, because short views do not count towards watch hours.
Yes.
But with that being said, you've been an amazing guest so far, but I think it's time for our final segment of this podcast.
Let's go. I like segments.
The segment is trivia. We kind of mentioned it a little earlier. Oh, you like segments? Where's that growth come from? Come on.
Well, I'm bad at this. Is why I hosted trivia, because I knew all the answers. I'm not good at answering trivia.
Well, I know all the answers, and I'm also really good at answering questions if you can't tell.
I know.
So,
that
being said, we got a couple rules here. Number one, chat is officially going into emote only. You cannot get any help from them. Second one, you cannot skip any questions. I need a confident answer out of you per question.
Okay.
If you say, I don't know if it's this or this, I'm not going to take it. But if you're like, it's this, I'm going to take it, whether you change your mind after or not. The third one is that there are 15 questions, one with a bonus point. So it's out of 16.
Okay.
I'm going to say a couple names that you know, and I want you to beat their score. Let's go with Game Pass Dad, probably the highest one, 12 out of 16.
Jesus.
We could go with our most recent guest, Chak, 7 out of 16.
Okay.
We could go with Kirby, 9 out of 16. So there's a little bit of a metric there. As long as you beat 5, which is the lowest score set by Melme and Lost Pool Boy, I think we'll be good. Are you ready for trivia?
So that was my question, was what's the lowest score?
So
okay, cool. Let's do this.
Technically the lowest score is 4, but that was on season 1 of trivia, and I was the first ever guest.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Oops.
But recorded episodes and season 2 of trivia, it is 5. 3 people have gone
One
5
more
on
question.
Season 2. Yes.
One more question. Are these all the same questions from the previous ones?
Besides 2 of them that are catered to the guest, and the bonus point is also catered on your the guest question. Based on your interests and who you are. So, are you ready?
Yes.
What sport do the Harlem Globetrotters play?
Basketball.
What is the highest grossing holiday movie of all time?
Santa Claus?
What does the term GPU stand for? We are referring to the PC part.
Yes. General Processing Unit?
Which painter is known for cutting off his own ear? Mr. I like art.
That's different art. That's
That's
crazy art. It's crazy art. That's crazy man art. It's oh my god, Van Gogh.
How many balls are on a pool table at the start of a game? Count it out with your fingers. You'd be the 5th person in a row to do it. He's doing it on his desk.
I think it's 16?
Which animal breathes out of its butt? Insects do not count. Because there's like 3 insects, apparently.
Breathes out of its butt?
Yep.
The octopus?
What is a perfect score in a game of 10-pin bowling?
300.
What is James Bond's preferred drink of choice?
Women.
Women.
I'm
taking that answer.
It is a martini.
Shaken, not stirred. Yeah, you could have added that. That's fine.
Yeah.
If you were born on Christmas Day, what is your star sign?
Yeah, no. Leo.
In what book series does Neville Longbottom appear?
Oh, that's that Harry Potter guy.
When was the first iPhone released? What year? I'll give it to you within 1.
Give it to me in 1?
Like 1
So
above,
iPhone,
1 below.
Okay. iPhone, not iPod.
iPhone.
Oh, 06.
What was the first element on the periodic table, Mr. I Like Chemistry? This isn't even your catered question. I just find it fucking hilarious.
Can I tell you? I'm not gonna get the answer right, but I will tell you that my Xbox gamer tag used to be Mr. Beryllium because all of my friends all took Table of Elements names.
Oof.
Now it's well, it used to be it was that and then Dick Goes In Ya, and now it's Dad No Please. So we've changed a lot over the years. I'm just gonna say Oxygen.
What machine was created in Ohio back in 1884 that can now be found in every single retail store? It's Ohio.
Fucking Jesus. Depression. What?
That's not a machine.
Hold on. It can be. It's called the industrial complex. Okay. What machine? Let's go.
I've given you a
every
hint.
retail store.
Every retail store has these.
It's the it's oh god, I don't even know what you would call that technically, but it's how they check out. It's the teller machine. It's the thing you hit the buttons, you get the receipt.
I will count that as your answer.
Okay.
What is the current view count to the nearest 10,000 on your most popular video? And a bonus point if you can name that video.
On my video?
On your video. That is not the Guy Fieri one because that is taken down. So your current most popular video, and what is the name of it? And you need the views to the nearest 10,000.
We'll go 283,000, and it is the Pikachu, Detective Pikachu Danny DeVito video.
Where can people go to find your Twitch?
Twitch.tv/MayorWertz.
Do you want to know your score, or do you want to go one by one?
I want to go one by one. That's
all right. Which sport did the Harlem Globetrotters play? I'm also out of emote only. Everybody can chat or clap or fail. I don't know. Basketball.
Easy.
Started off strong.
Yep.
What is the highest grossing holiday movie of all time? Home Alone.
That makes sense. I almost said Christmas Story because it's Cleveland. So
what does the term GPU stand for? Graphics Processing Unit, not general. Now we go on a little bit of a streak. Which painter is known for cutting off his own ear? Van Gogh.
Yep.
How many balls are on a pool table at the start of a game? You remembered the cue ball. It is 16.
Yep.
Which animal breathes out of its butt? It's not an octopus. It's a turtle. But you were close with the water animal.
Okay.
So you got 3. What is a perfect score in a game of 10-pin bowling? 300.
Okay.
James Bond preferred drink of choice is a martini.
Yep.
You're going to hate yourself because if you were born on Christmas Day, you are a Capricorn, but you said Leo. You second-guessed yourself.
Okay.
When I heard you say cat, I was like, you're going to be the first person to get this right. Oh, my God. And then you're like, no. And I'm like, no hints. What book series does Neville Longbottom appear? Harry Potter.
Gotcha.
First element on the periodic table is hydrogen.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So you're at 6. When was the first iPhone released? Funnily enough, it's when you did your first stand-up. It's 2007.
Oh.
You got it with
Oh, okay.
2006.
Gotcha. Let's
1
go,
year.
baby.
What machine was created in Ohio back in 1884? You told me teller machine. It's cash register. I'm giving it to you.
Okay.
Because I knew
I'll
that's
take
what
it.
you meant. You're going to hate yourself now.
Oh, of course. I know. I hate myself every day.
Same. What is the current view count to the nearest 10,000 on the most popular video? Bonus if you can name it is 303,000 or 301,000.
Wow.
300,000 is the correct answer.
Okay.
How to season potatoes. It's your shorts that you posted 6 months ago. It is ahead of your Detective Pikachu.
Oh my God, I forgot about the shorts. For some reason, I didn't count them. Oh, you said video, so that makes sense.
Where can people go to find your Twitch? You got 9!
Hell yeah. I'll take it.
9,
I'll
baby.
take it. I'll take it. I'll take it.
You are officially tied for the second highest score on recorded episodes.
Holy jeez.
The highest score
I'll take it.
The highest score was 10, and now you
Okay.
are tied with Bravo Official. So
Who was
congratulations.
10?
D Lemon,
Oh.
who is the only other person I know who's been on content for over a decade, but you have him beat because he started like 10
Wow.
years ago. You started 12 years ago.
Oh jeez.
So
Yeah, definitely. I'm in top 16, Lucar. I know. I'm in top 16. I got the trophy and everything that I
What
didn't
is
make up.
that?
Oh, so when I was on Hover season 3, I
Yep.
was top 16, but I was first eliminated.
Yep.
And they totally sent me this trophy that says Hover season 3 top 16 next top streamer MayorWertz. They didn't send it to anyone else. They only sent it to me, MayorWertz. So I don't even know how they got my address.
I don't
But they
know
sent
why
it
they
to me.
didn't label it as MC Cool Whip, but
I
that's
know. I don't
besides
know
the
either.
point. I don't know why. I mean, maybe copyright issues. That's totally why.
Yeah,
That's a big reason.
exactly.
But, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to conclude today's podcast. Thank you for listening on Spotify and YouTube and listening live on Twitch. MayorWertz, you've been an amazing guest. Congratulations
you.
on getting the second highest score on the recorded episode.
Do what I can.
The floor is yours. Tell us what's going on with you, what we can expect from you here in the near future, and anything else you can expect, even though we are going to be gaming right after this. This is the ending of the podcast, so for anybody listening around the world, a.k.a. probably just North America, the floor is yours.
Hello, folks. My name is MayorWertz, a.k.a. your stepdad, Ron. I stream 3 days a week, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays. We do a variety of things, games and YouTube viewing, and we do cooking, we do IRL stuff. Sometimes I just scream for a while into the void. It doesn't matter. I have a YouTube channel that I upload at least a couple days a week when I can, as well as TikTok. I'm on all the platforms at MayorWertz. That is Mayor, like the mayor of a town. WERTZ. I'm also on Spotify, Apple Music. You can find my music anywhere, baby. You could probably find it on an old iPod, an old Zune, if you really looked hard enough.
An old Zoom.
Good night, folks. Thank you, Trolleyzz, for having me on.
No,
I appreciate it.
Thank you for coming on here. It's been a blast to talk to you, get to know your story a little bit more. We are going to continue the gaming, but for people listening on YouTube and Spotify, this has been the Troll Talk Podcast, and I will catch y'all next week with our special guest, Erect Dictator, somebody who has been through the ringer when it comes to Twitch, and has kind of reestablished herself. And we're going to be going over that story with her next week. So I'll talk to y'all then. Have a great night. Mwah!